Hello there, it is Sheepishly here once again, and today I have finally farmed enough bases of Necrotic Armour. I do farm these bases myself, so I can attempt to try to show you guys and demonstrate what I was talking about in my Reddit post earlier this week. So a lot of you guys have tried to make the craft, and some of you had successes, some of you got a bit unlucky with some of the recombination steps. So today I've prepared a lot of examples to hopefully take you guys through step by step how I craft these bases. Now I don't know if we're gonna get lucky or unlucky. It is pretty high variance craft, but let's see how we go. And hopefully, if you follow along, you're gonna pick up a few tricks here or there that's gonna help you in your own crafting journey. And even if we don't succeed today, hopefully you're gonna know what to do, and you're gonna be lucky and finish your craft. Maybe I won't, maybe I will. Hopefully I will, because I do want to be able to sell some of these for divines. I am running a little bit low. Now, what I've prepared here is that I have an entire tab of these one mod bases. I'm gonna try to combine them into step one, which is combining these, you know, getting these one mod bases and then combining them into two mod feeders is what I call them. I've also prepared this tab, which has some of the suffixes. On the suffix side, you can see with T1 intelligence and T1 suppress. I've also have some on top, which is like something I prepared beforehand, which is gonna help me walk you guys through what to do and what to think about at each step of the craft. What I've also prepared are some bestiary crafts, as well as lots of divines you can see for multi-modding, which is the same thing as calling craft 3 additional crafts. It used to be called multi-mod, so that's how I will refer to it. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. So step 1 in the guide is really all about combining and making a 2 mod feeder. Now, what we're going to be doing here is that we're going to try to do some of these using really, it's quite basic, right? You don't even need to fix the suffixes. So here I just out-regoed a bunch of these one mods, which is prefixes that I want. So for instance, on this one, we have on the left hand side, we have the percentage T1 evasion energy shield. On the right hand side, we have the flat evasion energy shield. We're going to click combine, and there's a 1 in 3 chance we succeed. And even if we do fail, we're going to keep one of the mods, that's guaranteed, and that means we can go again. So every 3 times I do it, I'm expecting to get at least one good result out of it. Obviously, I am getting a little bit unlucky here. Well, there we go. We got one mod. That's usable. Let's put that over there. And if you do fail, which happened to the first 2 sets, you can see that we have something that's kept over that we can go again, which luckily for us succeeded this time. So now we have a 2 mod feeder. There you go. Now let's save that over here and quickly do the rest of the tab. So I've set this up so that we have the goal is to have a combination of all the prefix mods that you want, which is your T1 evasion and ES flat, T1 evasion and ES percentage, and finally T1 ES and evasion hybrid. Now you want a copy of each because eventually you really want to. Oh, let me make sure that's hybrid. We can't combine them because you eventually the final item what you want to do is having one of each your perfect mods. So you kind of need one to start up with. Otherwise, you're not gonna get where you want to go. Is what I meant to say. That did not succeed. That did not succeed once again. And we have another success here. So you can see it is not that uncommon to succeed, but you just have to do it enough times so that your sample size is sufficient such that the high variance of the craft doesn't screw you over. Let's quickly do the last 2. And these are both failures. Yes, and flat. Maybe this one. we actually failed this one as well. It went to the suffixes, unfortunately. That is all good. Now, we also have these suffixes prepared. So these are actually a bit harder to make. And the reason why is because the spell suppress is actually quite a difficult mod to roll. So I'm really hoping that we get some of these, or at least we save the spell suppress suffixes. Or at least we're saving the harder to roll ones. We need at least one of these. There we go. One success. That's probably good enough. I will keep the other two armors in reserve in case something goes wrong and we have to restart the craft. Hello. Okay, we are back. Just had to step away quickly for a second. Okay, let's get back into the action now. Where were we? We have a bunch of bases. Oh, look, we have another one. Sorry, just to as a continuation, just to finish up step 1, which is creating 2 mod feeders. I realized I had another T1 int, which I will slap into this spell suppression for hopefully, ooh, maybe. There you go. Look at that. So that is yet another 2 mod feeder which we can use to craft our perfect 3 prefix 2 suffix chest. Now, people were asking me that after you crafted, the 2 mod feeders, what do I do about the extra affixes, right? So, for example, if you look at the 2 suffix 2 mod feeders that we have, they each have a prefix that's undesirable. So what we can do here is that if you want to get our prefixes, just use lesser eldritch embers on these. And then you can use an orb of annulment, eldritch orb of annulment, to remove the prefix there. Now this is not that cheap. I think these are going for about 50C at the moment, but this is still cheaper than locking suffixes and then scouring, which will take you 2 divines each attempt. Now, since I have 2 suffixes to donate, let's have a look. So I prepped something before. We need hybrid. I see. I'm just checking on the bases I prepared before to see what's the most. Okay. Let's do a hybrid. Let's do a percentage. Did I do a percentage and hybrid? I did not. Let's do a percentage and hybrid. Let's do this. I'm just trying to see what is the top 2 mods that I should be doing to make this demonstration a little bit easier. So this is cling T1 T1. So for this one again, we will remove the suffix there. Looks good. Now, so that is step 2 all done. We've created 2 mod feeders. And now it is time for step 3, which is creating the 4 mod feeder. What we want to do is to slap, 2 perfect prefixes with 2 perfect suffixes. And hopefully, if everything goes right, we're going to have, all 4 mods combined onto one single item. And then you're going to have 2 prefixes, 2 suffixes. So you're just one step away from making your perfect 3 prefix, 2 suffix item. Now to do this, what we want to do is to craft multi-mod and craft a bunch of exclusive mods to block, right? This is the point of the new recombination. Exclusive mods are crazy OP, and if you don't abuse it, your recombinations are not going to be that powerful. So here we're going to have a multi-mod, which is a suffix, which means that we can craft an additional prefix as a exclusive mod. I like to use banner skills. Have an aura effect, and then for suffixes I want to do an attribute is what I typically do. For the other one, for the other 2 mod prefix feeder, let's do the same thing. Banner, make sure everything's in order, and then attributes as well. Great. Now these are not done. We're going to be adding an aspect craft to these later, but let's do the multi mods for the suffix to mod feeders for now. Because these are two suffixes and your multi-mod is a suffix of itself, you can see we have 3 suffixes on this item. What we're going to do is to craft 2 exclusive prefixes. I typically just do soul gain prevention and banner skills. And let's do the same thing here. And soul gain prevention. There's probably some rejects you can create using these. That's gonna make your life a bit easier, but for demonstration, I'm just gonna type out the words and the crafts that I want. Now, in the menagerie, so this step is very important. Aspect of the crab or cat, avian, spider, whichever one you want to use. These bestiary aspect crafts are also considered an exclusive modifier, right? So now what we have created is a 6 mod item for the prefix to mod feeders, and this is extremely important because the more mods you have on the 2 items you're trying to recombobulate, the higher the odds that you're gonna have a higher chance of success. Because the point of exclusive mods is that we want to increase the odds of creating a 3 prefix, 3 suffix item by as much as we can, and if we can get to that stage of having a 3 prefix and 3 suffix item, we're pretty much guaranteed to win the craft. That's how the exclusive modifiers work. Okay, so now on to the next step. So this is step 3 in the guide, sorry. This is step 3 in the guide, which is creating the 4 mod feeder item. Now, here on the left hand side, we have the 2 prefix. Here on the right hand side, we have 2 suffixes. I think this is roughly a 40% chance of success. I don't know. Let's have a look to see what happens. We did not succeed, unfortunately. We've only kept 1 prefix, which is the flat, but we have 2 of the suffixes. Now, this is okay, because as we will see in a second, now instead of a 4 mod feeder, we have a 3 mod feeder. This failed attempt at step 3, I'm doing air quotation marks here for failed, is actually something we can use for future crafting as well. Now let's do the second pair. It'll be good if we get 2-2 so I can demonstrate to you guys that this method actually works. Unfortunately, we failed again. This time we have a 2-1 feeder, which is unfortunate because we lost the spell suppression as well. That's okay. That's why we have these videos where I can show you guys, with recombinations. The important thing is knowing at each point of the craft, because it's such a high variance craft, right? At each point, what are the options open to you? How can you get your craft back on track and go towards your perfect item? Okay, so just taking a look over what we have. So on the left hand side, we have one that has an int suffix, and then it has a T1 flat and T1 percentage. So that's a pretty good 2-1, I call it. So it's a 3 mod 2-1, 2 being 2 prefixes, 1 being 1 suffix item. On the right hand side, we have also a pretty good one, but this one we're doubled up on the prefixes, right? So like I said, when you imagine we want to sum these 2 together for our perfect item, what we're missing is a hybrid prefix, which we don't have between them. So we should not be trying to slam these 2 together, because we were never gonna get what we want to get, which is having 3 perfect prefixes. Luckily enough, I've actually prepared some things for us to attempt to salvage this craft. Let me just see what's a good one to use. Let's do this one. I think this is probably a good one to slam together. Yep. So we're gonna have to try to salvage this craft, because we are actually, is this the best one? Or do I have another that I can use? Because be good to show you if I have a. Actually, this is the perfect one. My apologies. So, why have I selected these two? Right, so this is actually coming out of step 6 of my guide, which is what happens if you fail. On the left-hand side, what we have is we have what 3 of the mods that we want, which is your T1 prefix, T1 suffix, and T1 suffix. And on the right-hand side, we have another feature item that has 2 of the prefixes that we want, and those are the exact 2 that we're missing, and we want to get onto, our first item. So, same thing as before. Let's get rid of the suffixes on this one so that it is clean. Double checking, remove suffix mod. There we go. And between these 2 items, we have 3 desired mods on the left hand side. We have 2 desired mods on the right hand side item. We have the 5 mods that we want, right? So all we have to do, quite simply, it is not that simple, but quite simply, if the game will just let me do it, is to make this craft, and hit big. That's what POE is all about. If you keep on gambling and increase your sample sizes enough, you will eventually win. Hopefully you'll eventually win. So get prevention and attributes. I'll explain. I'll go over what I've done crafting in a second. Please bear with me here. Now it is. I did see in my post someone said that they failed the final step of the craft 11 times. That is very unfortunate because having done the math, it's actually a 50-50, right? You may be, you may think I am capping that. How can this, final craft be a 50-50? Well, the fact of the matter is, and let me explain to you using this craft, is that what happens in the game is that when the game does recombination, the first thing they do after having chosen which base it is to figure out how many mods the game will have on the final item, right? Now, if you have 3 prefixes on the left-hand side item and 3 prefixes on the right-hand side item, the chance of having 3 prefixes on the final recombined item is 72%. Same thing for the suffixes. So what's interesting is that if you make an item, right, if the recombined outcome is it has a total of 6 mods, which is 72 times 72, which is 49% of the times. If your final item is a 6 mod item, look at the suffixes. The only 2 viable suffixes that is not exclusive is your T1 int and T1 spell suppress. That means the 3rd suffix the game chooses has to be an exclusive modifier. And the moment the game chooses an exclusive suffix, all the other exclusive mods are excluded. That's why they're called exclusive mods, and leaving you with a perfect prefixes, right? So this craft, it's a 50-50 every single time. If the game can prove me right for once, please succeed now, so I don't look like someone who's very stupid in front of my YouTube audiences. That's rough. So we actually probably got one of the worst outcomes. Not only did we lose the 50-50, we actually hit, we didn't keep our prefix as well, so we actually go back to exactly where we came from, which is having a 1 prefix and 2 suffixes. That is not fantastic. Getting a little bit unlucky here, but that is okay. Let's just have a look to see what's the best. Well, I guess these 2 are it. Well, that's not fantastic, but fortunately we're gonna just try this again. As you can imagine, it does get a little bit frustrating when you don't hit the crafts. But hey, this is crafting with recombobulation. you're gonna win some, you're gonna lose sometimes. It can't be helped. You know what? Let's do the expensive crafts. Maybe that's what I'm missing here. So I do have this placebo superstition ritual, whatever you want to call it. Every time I do the more expensive crafts, just spending this extra 4 chaos on all my blocker mods, I tend to succeed. I am not making a joke here. Every single time I've done the more expensive craft instead of the cheaper one, I have succeeded. So maybe today the same thing can happen. Let's take a quick look. On the left hand side we have, maybe let's swap them around. Again, another superstition. The one with the more prefixes should be on the left hand side. We're stacking up all the exclusive mods and stacking up all the lucky placebo superstitious little themajigs. So hopefully this will work. Let's do a final check. On the left hand side we have 6 mods. On the right hand side we have 6 mods. Please hit 3. Okay, 3 prefixes. Oh, and only 1. Ah, this is really unfortunate. So we hit 3 prefixes and we won the 50-50. We did hit the exclusive mod on the suffix, except we hit 2 suffixes instead of 3, so we did not keep the spell suppression. That is truly unfortunate, but that's okay. That is okay because we are so very close to be able to finish this craft. In fact, that was probably our second to last craft, because I have this one here which can donate the suppress. So same thing, let's craft exclusive mod to block this. We only have to craft 1 because we have perfect prefixes and the intelligence already done. Let's do attributes 6%, there we go. And on this one we should have 3 crafted mods. We're missing a prefix. Banner is my favorite one. Okay. So it's the same story here. We actually have 4 mods that we want on the left hand side and 2 blockers. On the right hand side we have well, we actually have 3 mods that we want and 3 blockers. So let's hope for the best. 50-50, remember? And the prefix all kept and the suffixes all kept. There we go. I am so glad we've successfully crafted 1 at least, so that I can show to YouTube and Reddit how this is done, and that in fact I am not making a random hoax video and post, and it is in fact possible. Okay, there we go. I did prepare a few more bases, but I don't know, we were quite unlucky with the crafts. I think that was the 4th recombination, so I don't actually have any suffixes prepared for us to craft 1 more. I was hoping we were gonna get 2 viable crafts out of this session, but it doesn't seem like that's going to happen. So maybe what we'll do is go and finish this item up. Which is, you know, there you go. So we didn't have the best luck in the world. We failed to make the 2 prefix 2 suffix 4 mod item twice, but the important thing is that even if you fail, the item you use can still be used and salvaged for the next craft. And this is why crafting with recombination is much cheaper than it seems, because even when you fail, you only step back 1 step or even sometimes half a step, and you can just pick yourself up and go again very quickly. Yeah, so there you go. That is how you craft the best in slot armor, and hopefully you've all, you know, had a better idea of how to do this. And let me know if you have any questions. feel free to comment on this YouTube video or comment on my Reddit post, which I will link in the comments below. And yeah, good luck on your crafting journeys. And please like and subscribe to my channel. I will be making more videos such as this, demonstrating more crafts, more POE related stuff, or maybe talk about my builds and some of the other things that I do. Thank you so much. Have a good day.